Right now we're working on a Mitsubishi EDR 36, I think. Yeah, it's an EDR 36 uh, electric reach truck. It has an EV100 system for the drive, but it also has an interface card for the hydraulics part of it, material handling. So, problem with this is, let me show you, no drive forward or reverse. So step on the deadman pedal. Auxiliary functions work, right? So look at that. Okay, but no drive. So I'm stepping on the deadman right now. I'm gonna pull the handle. Nothing happens. No drive. Not even the contactors are kicking in. Looking at the schematic for this truck. So here's your forward and reverse contactor coils. The EB100 is supposed to provide the negative, and then the positive is supposed to be provided by the interface card from JPS4-4. So I'm gonna hook up first on the Y for the reverse, right, and see what we get from there. Okay, so right now I got my channel 1, which is my blue trace, hooked up to the Y terminal for the reverse, and then my red trace is going to be hooked up to this link, which is straight up from the battery, all right, and then the negative in there. So I'm going to try to drive it. Let's focus you on the screen. So red trace is going to be battery voltage, and blue trace is going to be the Y connector that's supposed to be negative from the EV100. So why am I seeing the 24 volts or 28 volts right now? Power supply, all I know is right now when I do try to drive, I should be seeing a pulsing from the blue trace. This is a 36 volt truck, but the EV100s, they all use 24 volt contactors. So what I expect to see, if it's working properly, the EV100 is sending the signal, is this being pulsed, all right, because it can't put out the straight negative. That would burn out the coil. So step on the dead man. So it went up, that voltage went up. Let's try to see, that is for the blue trace right now is at 33, and my red, which is battery voltage, is at about 37.28. Okay, I already have like a 3 volt drop, which may be or may not be good. So let's see. Focus on the blue trace while I try to drive in reverse. Okay, so it is trying to drive it, as you can see. I see the pulsing. Try to make it a bit clear. Let's try it again. Alright, so I do see the pulsing, but contactor's not kicking in. Okay, so pause that. Let's go back. So it is trying to bring it down to negative. It's pulsing, but what I don't like is it now has gone down. The supply has gone down to 30 volts. Okay, so 30 volts, that's my power supply for that coil. Because remember, the EV100 is supposed to provide the negative, and it is trying to bring it low right here. So go back to the schematic. We're hooked up here and the positive should be supplied from JPS 4-4. So this is where we're going to hook up next and see if we have the same voltage drop on this side. Okay, right now we're hooked up to back pinning, right? JPS 4 on the interface card, which is supposed to be the supply for the coils. All right, so let's look at the screen again. All right, step on the dead man, goes up again, 33 in the blue trace. Let's try to drive, reverse. Okay, and we see the same pattern. You see the same pattern on it. Okay. So that is the same pattern that we saw from the negative side. Okay, so back to the schematic. So first we were hooked up right here. And then we hooked up in here, JPS 4. But between this and this, we're seeing the same pattern. I am supposed to get the pulsing here, but the question I have right now is why do I see the same pulsing in here when this should have been a steady stream, a steady supply, which is from the book, JPS 4-4 should be B+. And here it says it's coming from the K2 coil activated. The K2 coil is going to be right here. So from the key switch, the dead man is going to activate a relay, right? And then the relay is supposed to go here. Makes that clear. It's JP16, JPS416, which is dead man. Okay, right now it's easier for us to test on the relay, which is going to be right here. So relay is going to be right here. So you got 4 wires. This is for the control of the coil. So when we step on the dead man, I don't know if you can see it, but it does switch over. So now my question is, the power or the voltage, does it get transferred to the contact, or am I searching for the source? So let's look at that next. Okay, so right now I'm hooked up to the common supply for their relay, which is terminal number 4. Right, comes from here and has a direct supply. It's not showing here, but it comes a direct supply from the fuse. So this should be battery power, pin number 4. So blue trace again. As you can see, red is still the battery, and the blue trace is just millivolts difference. So the supply for that relay, the common, at least is good. Okay, let me transfer over now to the other side of it, which is, so it should be right here, the normally open contact, which is supposed to provide pin number 16 in the interface. Okay, let's look at that. So it's 0 right now because the contacts, the relay is not activated. Let's step on the dead man. Okay, went up. But look at the difference in the voltage now. So 33.9, which is what we're seeing at pin number 4, JPS 4-4. Let me try to go in reverse. And we see the same drop on the relay. Okay, let me pause that. Let's try to go back. We see the same drop in voltage. Load this up. So what I'm thinking is the contacts on that relay right? It has high resistance. That's why we're dropping the voltage. And the reason why we're seeing this is not because of the EB100 trying to power up or giving the negative to the coil. It's that the power supply is dropping. Okay, so to prove that the problem is within the relay, the contacts, I'm gonna try to do is jump the two wires together, and then let's see what happens. Okay, so we just jump the two lines together, and let's try to key on. Of course, that's gonna operate the auxiliary right away. Okay, step on the dead man pedal and try to drive it. There you go. Okay, so we already know that it's the relay, the contacts on the relay, and because when we jumped the lines to it, it started working. So just for reference now, I would want to look at how it should really look like. I hooked up the blue trace again to the Y terminal, right? And this is supposed to be hooked up directly to the EV100. So right here, this is to provide the pulsing. So positive is going to come from the interface card, and then the pulsing is going to be provided by the EV100. So I'm going to focus you on the screen right now. Let's key the truck on. Alright. So the voltage that we have is at 36.5. Less than a volt difference, so that should be good enough. Okay, let's gonna try to run in reverse again. That was the pulsing that I was trying to see. This is the pulsing that we should be seeing early on. It's a far cry from what we were seeing earlier, that it was spacing far and few in between. Alright, so let's zoom in on this a bit. This part right here. So drop down to 0, right? And let's look at the other side of the coil. I'm going to transfer it to the other side of the coil, which should be the positive supply coming from the interface card. So let's run this again. Alright, turn the truck on again. So what I expect to see on this side is just a steady voltage supply. Okay, try to run again in the reverse. See, it's not dropping anymore like it was earlier. One more time again. So it's staying at least 36 something volts. The jaggedness on the top, I don't really mind of that. That's just the feedback from the motor. So, okay, we're gonna replace the relay, and I would call this one a fix. Okay, relay has been replaced. This is the old one. Okay, replace it with a new one now. Key on the truck. Step on the dead man. Okay, look at the contactors. There it is. You can hear the motor running. Reverse also. Alright, so that's it. No drive from a relay.